gonna start this. This is TigerShinobi, and we're gonna be playing Ark today. We're gonna have a fresh start. I'm gonna show you what I do. I've done this quite a few times before. Um, it's gonna be on the island map. I do not have any of the other DLCs, so I can only usually go to the island, Ragnarok, and um, the center, I believe, or one of the other ones. The first three maps that came out with Ark. Um, but here we are at the character. Just going to go right into it here. We are at the character creation. Now, I like to play on PvP, and when you're on PvP, I found out in this game that there's a lot of griefing, and a lot of people like to pick on what uh, people consider to be called bobs. Those are the new players that end up washing up on the shore and starting from the beginning. A lot of more experienced players, because this game's been out for a while, like to pick on those people. They like to pick on the bobs and grief on the bobs. So um, whenever somebody usually makes a new character, if they've played before, and what they will normally do is they will make their character the smallest graphic wise they can, to make their hitbox smaller. Um, because what they like to do is they just will run around naked with a club, and they'll run up to you with a club and just hit you with it and knock you out. So they think that like the smaller your character is, that the harder you are to hit. Um, so they'll usually slam all the graphics down like really really small. I'll kind of show you here though. They usually just go into like everything, and they just bring like everything all the way down. Um, they'll just do this, and they'll just bring all of these sliders all the way down. Um, they will usually, for some reason, I don't know why, but they will usually, there's a lot of them that will make them females. Um, and they'll give them the darkest skin tone that they have. Why they do that, I don't know. Maybe that's because, I don't know, during the nighttime or whatever, if the character has the black skin, then it's harder for them to see or something. I'm not sure, but um, this is usually what they do. It kind of makes them a little funny looking, but um, that's it. These two, they usually just pick whatever. And then the skin color, this is where they usually go. I think that's another reason, maybe just because it's all the way to the left, and that's what they just do it to everything. Because that would just be the quickest way, is they just come in here and just throw everything all the way to the left. We'll go ahead and do that. I don't normally do that. I usually just make a normal character, the way I like for them to look. Um, but the next thing that I will talk about is where to start over here, in the spawn regions. From the very beginning, I like to start in West Zone 2, because I like to go right from the very beginning. I like to go on the what is called the XP nodes run. The first thing you want to do is run around and collect all the XP nodes, because they will give you, that's the fastest way to get XP in this game so far, is running around and collecting those, because of what you want to do from the very beginning to kind of counter the griefing and everything else as much as you can, is to get as fast as the most uh, the fastest XP you can, because you want to level up as fast as you can, because most people will get to level 70, 80 um, as quick as they can, and then that's what they do is they run around and they raid and they grief the bobs and stuff like that. So if you're gonna want to do the XP run, the node run, you start off. I start off here at West Zone 2. Um, It'll show you down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Um, and what date is um, the video that I watched on YouTube. There's a guy on YouTube that has done has posted quite a few videos on the XP node run. His name is Lucky by Nature. Lucky by Nature has posted quite a few videos. I like to watch the one that says running view or runner view. He has one called that, and then he has one that's called aerial view. The runner view for me is kind of a little more clearer as to see what it's like. The aerial view kind of can get a little confusing really quickly if you're first starting and you don't really know what the map looks like. Like I said, the map that we're playing on is going to be the island. That's the best one really to start off on if you're starting the game brand new, because they're the experience nodes that I know of for the vanilla Arc game that only has like the first 3 maps. Is the experience nodes are on the island, and Ragnarok does not have them. And then I think the center, which is I think the 3rd map, that comes with just the regular vanilla Arc game. I think the center might have them. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen any videos as to where those are. So, like I said, I Lucky by Nature's videos he's really, really good. He shows them pretty clearly as to where they're at. He has like basically he knows where they're all at, so he kind of goes in his own little order as to where to run to find them. And I've watched that video quite a few times, so I know where a lot of them are. Now, I haven't memorized where all of them are like he has, so I usually only go to the ones that I can remember. But I'll show you here in a minute. We'll just go ahead and make it a female also, because I'm not really going to keep this character probably. I'm just using this for this streaming, just to kind of show everybody what to do and what to expect and what I do anyways. There's another person on YouTube that I like to watch that has helped me a lot. He posts a lot of videos, and he explains a lot of things in his, and he used to go by the name of Uncle Apex, but he changed it, and now his channel name is The Apex Way. The Apex Way is his channel name. I like watching his videos because he posts a lot of videos, and he explains a lot of things, and so he's very, very helpful. Those 2 people, Lucky by Nature, I've watched his for the XP node run, and then the Apex Way is the guy that I like to watch a lot, because he posts a lot on raiding and base building and where to hide your bases and stuff, and he explains a lot in his videos. He doesn't really do the XP node run. He hasn't done like a dedicated video to that, but he does a lot more showing what he does when he begins, where he puts a good place to put bases and hide bases, and how he raids and stuff like that. And plus, he's pretty cool. He sounds pretty funny, so he's one of the videos that I like to go to. But anyways, we got all the character all built up. I'm hoping that since I've done this so many times before, that the map is not going to be a map I've already gone to. Because if that's the case, then the XP nodes will not be there. Because if you go to the same map and you've done the XP node run before, then the XP nodes will be there, but they'll be empty. They won't give you anything. So survivor name, you can go in here and make it whatever you want. A lot of people just leave it human, or they name it Bob or whatever, but um, I will, if it's a character I'm going to keep, I will usually give it a name. But actually, you know what? We're just going to leave it. We'll just leave it human. Oops. We'll call her Hera, I guess. I don't know. And then you just go here to create new survivor, and it'll take you into the game. I don't know where it's going to spawn me. I hope it's in a good spot. Of course, it is going to be on the beach. It's always on the beach, somewhere on the map, depending on what region you choose. Oh wow, the ping on this is probably really bad because this is lagging horribly. But I am not playing on a PvP server. Just because of this video, I'm just kind of showing what happens at the beginning, and that would explain why the lag, because this server is been extremely built up. That is a huge base. Let's find out why it put me up there. I do not know, because I chose. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm just going to kill myself. Let's go in here and drown ourselves. That may be too long. That's probably going to take too long. Let's go see if we can find a dinosaur to get into a fight with. So it's been doing that lately. Even though you choose a region that you want to start in, for some reason it won't start you in that region like it's supposed to. It just throws you in some random spot on the map. And unfortunately, I don't even see any dinosaurs that are aggro enough to where they will kill me. And my stamina's already gone because I'm getting level player here. Alright, you know, instead of me wasting a lot more time trying to find a dinosaur because I don't even see any, we'll go back to just drowning ourselves. Okay, some piranhas are here. There we go. That's good. Now, unfortunately, in my case that I've found out, whenever it's done that before, it's extremely hard to get it to reset to where it will actually, now that I've died and I'll try to respawn again, most of the time whenever it's done this, it usually just keeps doing it. It'll keep respawning me either in the same spot or in another random place somewhere around on the map instead of in West Zone 2 where I'm wanting to go. You can kind of fool around with it and try to reset it by picking a couple of other different zones and then picking West Zone 2 again. I've tried to do that, and sometimes it works, sometimes not, but we'll see. Another thing is to make sure that West Zone 2 is highlighted, and then Let's try it again. We'll try to respawn and see if it'll throw me somewhere. Hopefully it'll put me in West Zone 2 where I'm wanting to go. I may just, if it keeps doing it again, plus with okay, that's very interesting, and it's pretty nasty looking. That's okay, somebody built their base in the spawn area, and I don't know if they did that on purpose. Sometimes they do that too. But as you can see, all of these other people that are laying here probably have done the same thing and got glitched out because they built the building right here, and when people spawn in, this is what happens. And so now you've got all these people piled up, and it's ridiculous. I may have to just totally find another server, which is okay. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna back out here and find another server, a better server, hopefully. Let's just choose a quick one here. Hopefully it'll be one that I haven't been on yet. Like in that situation, in that scenario, whenever something like that happens, if it's on the server that you choose, most likely you'll just have to do what I just did. You'll just have to back out, go to the main menu, and choose a totally different server to go on. That usually is the only thing that you can possibly do. But let's go ahead and, like I said, I normally will make a regular character. I won't do this, but for time reasons why, it is a little bit quicker to do it this way, because I usually will modify all of these and put them in places where I want them to be, and that does take some time. So if I have to find yet another server, which is the problem with one of the problems with this game is it's old enough now, and there's so many people that play that all the servers are all packed and built on, and it can just be a pain. But hopefully you won't run into that. We'll go over here. We'll check on West Zone 2. We're gonna leave human, and let's spawn in with this one and see what happens. I do have a main character on a server, but for the sake of this video, I wanted to do, it looks like I'm in West Zone 2, so, and unfortunately, yes, this is a good spawn point. Okay, this is West Zone 2. This is part of the beach. Let's see what time it is, if you, this is, I'm playing on a PS4. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, which is really good. Whenever you want to start this, as soon as you spawn in, if it's nighttime, you need to wait, obviously, because it's a lot harder to see at night. So you want to start this run like right at dawn, right as soon as you can start seeing and everything, and the sun's out. Just because there's a lot of XP nodes, a lot, and so this run will take quite a while to do. And depending on the server, and it looks like this server has been built up also, because like I said, this game's old enough now and there's a lot of people that play, so almost every server on the whole list is built up, and they've done that. So, and let's stay in here for a minute and get my stamina back up. Alright. Here's the part of the beach that I would like to start off at, because right over there, and I'll show you, is the first XP node. Let's run and get that. This guy almost built around it. A lot of the times, if you're on a server that's been built up, a lot of the times some players will choose upon themselves to be, there's what an XP node looks like. One of them anyways. Some of them are in vases or in these boxes or whatever. This one's a box. That you take that one. If you go into here, it's already given me, see the points available right in between here is 8. That means it's given me 8 levels already, just from that one XP node. Now, what I do also when I first start playing is, for some reason, Ark makes events. They usually have events on the weekends, and it's pretty much been almost every weekend from like Friday night through like Monday afternoon or whatever. Every weekend they have what they call an event, and they give you double XP and double gathering XP, and it's like double everything. And that's the best time to do this, because they're going to get double XP for everything. So even though this like node would probably normally, if it's not an event, would only give me like 3 points, maybe 2-3 points like that, since I'm playing on the weekend and it's an event and it's double XP, I just got 8 levels from one experience node. Now, when that being said, the first thing you want to do is movement speed. You want to get this movement speed up to at least 130 at the beginning. So for the first couple of nodes that you get, you're going to want to put it all in movement speed. You want to get a water skin, you want to get a campfire, you want to get the stone hatchet. I'm not going to show you this on every point that I get, every XP I get, but right at the very, very beginning I'll show you. You want to get all of these. Go ahead and get the thatch. You want the sleeping bag. The two you want at the very beginning is the water skin and the sleeping bag, and the campfire. Those are like the 3 main things at the very beginning that you want, and probably the storage box. Now, if you're just going to go through really quickly and get all these experience nodes, then you can pretty much kind of skip this part and not really worry about doing this, because it'll just build up. You know, the points won't go away. These are the engrams. These are recipes that you want to learn to be able to build all this stuff. and all of these Ingram points will still be here. It'll just pile up and keep going up and up. They don't disappear if you don't use them. From now on, I probably will. I just wanted to get that water skin so that I can make it, because you get right here at the beginning on this run, this XP run, you run out of stamina very quickly, and so you get dehydrated very, very fast. And to have a water skin and to build the water skin at the beginning helps a lot with that. So that's why I wanted to do that. And the sleeping bag, if you want to, you can build that. So that, like, you build it and put it down, that allows you to spawn one time wherever your sleeping bag is, which could be nice. So 8 levels right there from the very first experience node, because we're on the double XP weekend event, which is, like I said, this about the best time. You kind of really want to do this on the weekend or when the event is double XP, because then you get twice as much as you normally get. I want to go over to this next. He's built up, so we're gonna not go to the one that I normally go to. See, and I just within 2 seconds I'm dehydrated already. So now I've got to go down here and go to the water and get some water. So that is the reason why I wanted to get the water skin like right away. Because now I'm dehydrated and I'm tired because my stamina is really horrible right now. So let's go down here, get some water, wait for a couple seconds for my stamina to go back up. Okay. Now then, if you want to prepare a little bit better for this run, then you can go ahead and do this very, very beginning part of the game. Even if you don't do the XP run and you just want to start playing the game without worrying about getting levels and stuff, this is the first thing you want to do. You want to come up to these trees and punch them to get thatch and wood. Now you want to be careful, because if you notice down in the bottom right hand corner, the cross, all the way in the bottom right hand corner, the cross is your health bar. And you do notice that punching a tree does hurt, and it will make your health bar go down. And you can kill yourself just by punching the tree. These little rocks are everywhere. You want to pick some of those up, because the first thing you want to build is the pickaxe. Okay, and you take the pickaxe, I normally do, and put it down here on the hot bar. Makes it a lot easier, because then you can just hit the button and it'll come out. The reason why you want this pickaxe is because it's the first tool you get, and that's what you need to get flint. My character just had to go to the bathroom. You have to use this to go and get flint, which is what I'm going to go do now, because you need flint to make the next couple of tools you'll need. What you're looking for flint is big rocks. Now these big rocks you cannot break. Some big rocks the game manufacturers have made where you can't break them. Obviously they're just there for the design of the map. Now this spot, you can also use it as a weapon. It's a lot better than just your hands. Not as good as a weapon, but enough. You normally, the level that you're at, you normally don't want to fight anything, even the little compies. That was a compy. Because the compies are pretty nasty about running around in packs. So, as you noticed, I had like 3 of them on me before. And this low level, like 3 little compies can kill you pretty quickly. I wanted to do it because the one thing that I really want is hide. Here's some hide. I got 4. Plus I also got a level out of that. We'll put that in movement speed. My movement speed is 112. This will bring me up to, I think, 115. We won't worry about the Ingrams. But to make the water skin, you need hide, which is what I just got 4 of from fighting that combi. And you need fiber. And you get fiber from picking these bushes. I just got 36 fiber from that one, so that one shall be good enough. I should have enough to make... Yes, I can make the water skin. Like the name refers to, it is a water skin, obviously. So what it does is you can put water in it and carry it around. Now, this very beginning water skin holds water, but since it's the beginning level water skin, it slowly, very slowly, leaks the water out. So you can't just carry it around forever, because eventually the water will leak out of it and you have to go back to a water source and fill it back up again. It does take some time, but it does leak. We'll go to the second. Like I said, the first XP node was right over there. The next one is over this way in these trees. Like I said, Lucky by Nature's video helped me out a lot, and I've done this enough now to where I remember where most of them are. Let's see how many levels it's given me. 3 more levels just from the next XP node. And I got the 1 level just from, you can level just by playing the game. Slowly your XP bar goes up just from spending time in the game. So we're going to put these next 3 into my movement speed, because that brings me up to like 118. We're not going to worry about the Ingrams. And of course, you get XP from everything. You get XP from picking plants. You do not get XP for going to the bathroom, which my character just did again. You get XP for picking the plants. You get XP for the trees. You get XP for gathering berries, gathering fiber, gathering wood, building stuff. It all gives you XP. Fighting and killing dinosaurs gives you XP. All of it does. But the fastest way is by getting these XP nodes. Now here's where the second one is. I'm dehydrated already. The dehydration is because it depends on how hot it is outside. Down in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see that little flame picture. That means that now it's changed to the little frostbite symbol, and the frostbite obviously means that I'm cold. Not really cold, but it's a little cold out, a little chilly outside. If it turns into the flame, that means that it's a little warm outside, and yeah, it does depend on where you are on the map. My character's grunting right now, and it shows his stomach picture down there because I'm hungry, because I have not eaten any food. That's one of the reasons why I like this game. It's a survival game. You have to eat, you have to drink, you go to the bathroom, you have to build stuff. I should have berries. You can eat all these berries. Yellow berries, blueberries, those are good. The white berries are stem berries. Those will dehydrate you, but they'll help you from getting knocked out. I'll talk about that later. Uh, the the blackberries are narco berries. Those are toxic berries. You use those to knock things out. You do not want to eat those because you will knock yourself out. So the yellow berries, the blueberries, and then there's red berries. Those are the three colors that you normally want to eat. The other ones you use for other things. You don't really want to eat those. The purple ones you can eat. The two that you normally kind of just want to stay away from, the stem berries, which help you from getting knocked out. Some of the dinosaurs, when they bite you, they'll knock you out with toxin. You eat that to kind of counter that. And then the black ones, like I said, are the ones that you use to make tranquilizer arrows and darts and stuff. And when you shoot stuff with it, it'll knock it out. So the white and black ones are the ones that you do not want to eat. But the other colors, normally the three colors, the yellow ones, the blue ones, and the red ones, are the ones that are safe to eat, and those are the ones that you want to eat when you don't have any other food. You get the berries from these plants that I was using to get fiber. You can get fiber and berries from these, and it'll tell you over in the left corner. I just got some stem berries, some azu berries, and some fiber from there. So that's where you get that from. Let's go back to, let's try to get this next node. The second node that I got was like right here in the trees. The third node is still in these trees too, but you gotta go further down the map, down the shore in the trees here. Like I said, I've done this a few times before, so I kind of have a rough idea as to where they're at. But I've had to do it quite a few times to start memorizing where they're at. There's the third one. Let's see how many. I got 5 levels from that one. So if you do this, this is the quickest way to get XP and the quickest way to level up. That brings me up to, I think, a 126 for movement speed. I'm getting dehydrated again. Lucky by Nature doesn't really have this problem. In his videos, he usually just goes from node to node to node and doesn't really have a problem getting. He does get dehydrated a little bit and stuff, but since he knows exactly where they're at, and he's better at talking and teaching people than I am, because this is the first couple of times I've tried to make like a let's play, tutorial video. So he can just run from node to node to node to node and not really have to worry about running back and forth to the water and stuff. Alright, so that was the third one, which was right up here in the trees. The fourth one is up at the top of this hill, and you'll know what the top is and what I mean by the top. If it keeps going up and up and up, you just have to keep going up. One of the bad things about Ark is this, and it's been this way since the beginning, and they've been told by the players forever and ever and ever that this is ridiculous. The lighting, and this part of the lighting is stupid, because as you can see, you can't see anything. And they've been told and told and told that they need to fix that, because it's annoying and it makes it to where you can't play it because you can't see, like right now. And the company has been told and told and told, and for some reason they still haven't fixed it. So there's the fourth XP node that I got. Let's see how many it gave me. 4 levels, so I'm going to be up to level 22 already. And like I said, if you're doing this and you're not having to talk like I am, and you're not having to you know, basically. Alright, so that gave me up to 132, so we'll stop doing movement speed now. That should be enough for now. Eventually you want to get the movement speed up to like 160. You really don't need it to go up further than that. Let's see if we can go to the 5th node here. Should be down this way in these trees. I'm gonna have to maybe come back and get it because again, my stamina's down, so I'm still getting dehydrated very quickly. Now I do have the water skin, so I can just click on that. Oops, let me do it the right way here. Click on the water skin, and it brings me back up. But now my water skin is empty. So, but that's fine. Plus, I'm hungry. So let me eat some berries. That's rotten meat. That's regular raw meat that you can cook. If it does have a time bar on it, if you don't cook it in enough time, it'll spoil and turn into rotten meat. You can eat the rotten meat, but the game does say that if you eat enough of it, it will make you sick because it's rotten meat. So I normally, unless I really, really, really have to, I will not eat the rotten meat because it only takes a few pieces for it to make you sick, from what I know. The reason why you want to try to get the campfire is because you can cook the raw meat on a campfire. So the campfire and the water skin are the two things, like I said at the very beginning, that I like to try to get. I'm not going to make a campfire right now. I'm going to try to get back into getting more of these XP nodes. Let's see if the next one over here. This one you have to be careful with, because in these trees you have the insects. I just saw the flying one, and they are aggro. They will attack you. That one right there. If you get close enough to them, they will start chasing you and attack you, and they will poison you. And plus, there are usually ants around here. Sometimes it's a random thing, but I've found out that a lot of the times there's usually ants and flying insects, and like I said, they will attack you, and they will, if they attack you and bite you, they'll poison you. And if they poison you enough, then you will get knocked out. And I need to get some more berries, and some more fiber wouldn't hurt either, because I may make some clothes. To battle the temperature, if it's cold, like at nighttime, it'll get colder than normal. And if it gets too cold, and you get too cold, then it'll start taking your health away. Depending on what type of clothes you have on, you can battle the cold. If it's warm outside and you have heavier clothes on, then it'll make you too hot. And if you get too hot, then you will get dehydrated quicker, and it will start taking your health away. So it's just all factors in the game that you kind of have to keep up with. Alright, let's eat some berries so that there's the red berries that I was talking about. There we go. As you saw, I ate the yellow, the red, and the blueberries, which is the three that I normally will stay with. There is a Dilo, a Dilophosaurus right there. He will blind you. He's that lizard from Jurassic Park that spits uh, the skin around his neck kind of flares out, and then there's a compy. They're annoying. Like I said, if they get 3 or 4 of them, then they can kill you. But it, the Dilos are, see, he just aggroed me now, and if he gets close enough, the skin on his neck will flare out, and then he'll spit at me. If he spits at you and he hits you, it'll blind you. It'll make you blind for like 5 or 6 seconds. Plus, they do bite and they do hurt. I can try to fight him, but he'll probably kill me. See, now he's gonna spit. That spit right there, if it hits you, it will blind you. Now, it only blinds you for like 5 seconds, but the screen will get really, really dark, almost too dark to where you can't even see. There we go. And then he runs up and bites you, and it makes it really hard to, and he just killed me. I kind of did that on purpose because I wanted to show you the Dilos usually will spawn like everywhere. And they're okay as long as you don't aggro them, as long as you don't get close enough to them to where they will start chasing you, like I did with that one. When you die, you can respawn, obviously, like I just did. And I respawned inside this guy's base. What you want to do and look for is one of these. You can, there is a crouch button. Right now I'm standing up. If you hit it once, you'll crouch. If you hit it the 3rd time, it'll make you crawl. You can crawl around on your belly. And sometimes, if there's enough space, you can crawl through that space. This one, there's not. I just want to keep looking around because I hope I am not locked into this guy's base. This one should be enough room, so I can crawl out. There we go. If there isn't any spaces like that, and they have it all built up and totally sealed up, and you're in their base, then you're stuck. You can't get out. The only way you can get out is if they let you out. And if they're not online, then you're in their base. There's nothing you can do. You can kill yourself and try to respawn somewhere else. That's the only way to get out. Now, I'm right at, when you die, that's what happens, is there's this, you can try to go back to your body, because when you die, as you can see, I have none of my stuff. But if I go back to my dead body, I can get my stuff back. And that's what you want to look for, is this green light column. And then you can come over here and click on your bag and get all your stuff back. I'm going to get rid of, these are just cosmetic items. You pick up, this is part of the storyline. It's some kind of a device that's embedded in your forearm. I'm not going to get into it to ruin the storyline. I don't want to spoil anything. But just saying that that's what it is, and when you die and you come back, you automatically have yours. But if you go to your dead body, you'll pick up the one that's on your dead body, and so you'll have multiple ones. You can't get rid of this one because it's the one that's in your arm. The one that you pick up from your dead body, you can just throw it away, because it's not, you don't use it for anything. It doesn't, it's just for storyline purposes. You can't, there's no usefulness for it. My movement speed I have at 131, which is good for now. I'm not going to put that up any higher. A lot of people say that if the ones that grief the bobs and stuff, like I said at the beginning, that's what they do, is they'll put their movement speed all the way up to like 200, 250, because then it makes you run really, really fast. And then what they do is they make it to where they can run faster than everybody else, and they do it on purpose, because they make it to where they can run really fast, and they'll just, like I said, they'll run around naked, like I am, with just their boxer shorts on or whatever, and they just have a wooden club. And since they can run really fast, they just run up to the people on the newbies or the bobs that are on the beaches. They'll use their movement speed, and they'll run really, really fast, and they'll run up behind you or in front of you and with the club, and they'll start hitting you with the wooden club, and they'll knock you out. And if once they knock you out, when you're knocked out in the game, you're knocked out. So you're just laying there. You're not dead, but you're just laying there and you can't do anything. And then they can either kill you if they want, or they'll just take all your stuff, or they can actually drag your body and put you into a wooden cage and lock you up in a cage if they want to do that. Normally what they'll do is they'll just knock you out and take all your stuff. And then if they really want to be a jerk, they will knock you out, take all your stuff, and then after that finish you off and just kill you. It is now getting to 10 o'clock at night, so that's why it's getting dark, which makes finding the nodes extremely difficult, obviously, since it's really hard to see. So whenever this happens, I usually will just go to the water line here. You don't want to go all the way out into the water like this where you're swimming. Sharks out here, piranhas, the jellyfish and stuff like that, if there's any of them around and you're deep enough in the water, they'll attack you and kill you. So, but I like to just be in the water area, because even in this really, really shallow right here, I can still fill up my water skin and drink. So usually when it's dark, you can run around in the dark if you can see. I can see pretty good because see the ice in the bottom. I'll go back to what I was just saying. But the ice in the bottom, it's not the snowflake anymore. The ice means that I'm extremely cold. That's because I don't have any clothes on, and it's nighttime, and I'm in the water. All that together, the temperature is really, really low, and so I'm freezing. The ice cube means you're freezing, and that means you will start taking damage. Now that I'm up out of the water a little bit, since I'm not in the water and wet, it's gone to the snowflake now, which means I'm cold. It's a little chilly, but when it's the snowflake, you don't take damage. The ice means you're freezing and you will take damage. I'm going to try to come up here and just use this to get some berries. Anyways, another reason why you don't really want to do anything at night is because it's hard to see, and you can get attacked by compies and things, and alright, killed the annoying compy. But normally when it's nighttime and I'm in the beginning like this and I don't really have that many tools and weapons and stuff, I will find like a safe spot, a safer spot on the beach, and kind of chill out here, like on the water line. This way I don't have to worry about getting dehydrated, because I can just drink whenever I want to. I'm not deep enough in the water where the sharks and stuff will attack me. The only thing I really need to watch out for are like the compies or the dilos or stuff that might spawn and might get close enough to me to attack me. But since it's really hard to see while it's the nighttime, usually you can just kind of stay here. Now the nighttime usually lasts probably about 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes of like in real life time. So you can just kind of, if you think you're in a safe enough spot and you don't think anything's really going to spawn and attack you, then you can just kind of chill out here. Just kind of every once in a while come back and check your character to make sure you're not freezing like I am right now. Make sure you're not thirsty, because the thirst bar, um, the symbols down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, the cross at the very bottom is your health, which I'm at about half health now. Excuse me. The lightning bolt above the health bar is your stamina, which if you're not moving around and not doing anything, your stamina doesn't go down. Um, the more you're running around or walking around, or the more you're swinging your arms by gathering stuff, then your stamina goes down. You can't really tell right now because it's half gone, but it's a kind of like a chicken leg looking symbol above the lightning bolt symbol is your food bar, your hunger bar. I'm halfway to getting hungry, um, just by playing in the game and not doing anything. If you're not eating, of course, then that food bar is going to go down. Also, if the more you're running around and everything else to get your stamina back, if your stamina goes down, it kind of takes your hunger bar and your water bar and it lowers those to bring your stamina back. So to refill your stamina, that'll make your hunger and your water bar go down. So it kind of all plays on each other. Since I'm not moving or doing anything right now, my stamina's not going down. The food bar is still going to go down, but it goes down real slow if you're not doing anything. The above the chicken leg symbol, the food bar symbol that's half gone, is the water drop. That obviously is your thirst level. It's totally full right now because I'm not moving around, not doing anything, and I'm kind of like right near the water. And I just filled it up like about a minute or two ago. And so the thirst bar really won't go down that much at all. If you're sitting and not doing anything and not even moving, the hunger bar and the water bar, the thirst bar, really it goes down very slowly. Excuse me. Above the water drop bar, your thirst bar, is a weight symbol. It's like a square, like weight symbol. It's really low because it depends on how much stuff you're carrying and how strong you are, and how strong enough you are to carry stuff. If I had more stuff, this is my inventory. All the stuff has a weight to it. The bottom right hand number in each corner of each item tells you how much it weighs. If I had a whole bunch more stuff, if I had more stone and more wood carrying it around, then the weight would go up, obviously, because that means that's more stuff I'm carrying around. If it fills all the way up, that means you're carrying a lot, and you will get encumbered, which means it'll make you move really slow. No matter how much movement speed you have, if you're carrying too much weight, it'll make you move really slow. And if you get all the way full, then you won't be able to move at all, because you've got so much stuff that you're trying to carry that you can't move. You've got too much weight. Right now I don't really have that much at all because I don't really have that much stuff. My stuff is just berries and stuff. And then the symbol above that, the arrow going up above the weight symbol, is your XP bar. It's blinking yellow because it's full and I have leveled up. But I have not spent my experience points, so it'll keep blinking yellow until I spend the points, which I'll do now. I've got one level. Movement speed is good for now, like I said, until later on in the game. 130 is kind of fast enough for me to move to stay away from the dilos and stuff while I'm running around getting the experience nodes. So since it's 130, the next thing you want to put in for now for now at the beginning is your stamina, because my stamina keeps running down so fast because I don't have that much of it. I haven't spent any points in it, so I will put this 1 point in my stamina. You want to get your stamina up to the Apex Way. The Uncle Apex on the Apex Way said that you want to bring your stamina up to like 150, but you do not want to go any further than 150. Now, the reason why is because at 150, that's enough stamina for you to run around for a while without running out of stamina, but your stamina will still go down. At 150, once you run your stamina all the way down to nothing, if it's more than 150, like I said, you can eat raw meat too, but it's raw meat, so that can also kind of make you sick also. Not as bad as the rotten meat, but anyways, stamina at 150. If you go up to higher than 150, like I said, the stamina will run out the longer you're running and moving around and stuff. And if you have your stamina at 150 and you run it all the way down to empty, the way you get your stamina back, like I said, is your hunger and your thirst bar will deplete itself to give you your stamina back. So if Uncle Apex said if you go above 150 and you run all of your stamina out, then to get your stamina all the way back to full again, if it's more than 150 points, it'll take away all of your hunger and thirst bar. It will make those go all the way down to nothing to give you your stamina back. He said at like right around 150, you can get your stamina back and you won't take all of your hunger and thirst bar away. So that's the reason why he said you might want to stop at 150 and not go further than that. You can if you want, and that just means you'll have a lot more stamina, but if you do and you do get into a situation where you run through all of your stamina and it empties, and you need to get it back, then it will take all of your hunger and thirst bar away to give you your stamina back, which then you have the problem of being hungry and thirsty. So that was the reasoning why he said that if you don't want to run into that kind of a problem, then you want to stop building your stamina up. And you don't want to build it up past like 150. Obviously, you don't want to leave it at 100 unless you're really not going to do a lot of running around, and you're not going to worry about losing your stamina. Then you don't have to worry about it. But stamina of 100, I've showed you. You barely run for like maybe 5 or 10 seconds, or you swing your arms around gathering stuff or whatever for not even like 5 or 10 seconds, and all your stamina's gone. So not putting any points at all in your stamina could be a problem too, depending on whether you're going to move around a lot in the game or not. And obviously you pretty much do. So I'm going to come up here, even though it's dark, to try to get some berries. Some fiber is good too. You can always use fiber. It doesn't weigh very much, so, and you have to use it a lot and building a lot of different things. I will probably make some clothes here in a second, so that will use a lot of this fiber I'm getting. To make the first level clothes is cloth clothes, and so it's just fiber. You don't need hide. The next level is leather clothes. That takes fiber and hide, obviously, to make the leather clothes. It's raining right now. One bad thing about raining is that it makes it harder to see, obviously. Um, but the good thing about raining is you don't have to go to a water source to drink. When it's raining outside, you can just drink the rain. So I can be up here out of the water, and I can fill up my water skin and drink just from the rain. So that's the good thing about rain. Like I said, the bad thing, especially when it's dark and raining, uh, being able to see just makes it ridiculous. Now, the reason why I can see quite a bit now is because there is a trick. Um, you can go into the options menu, go hit the options button on your controller, and it'll bring up this menu. Go down here to options, and you go down here to where it says gamma correction, this one here. See how I have mine all the way to the right, set all the way high? That's the reason why I can see right now. Normally, the default is right about in the middle. I think that's the default there. I'll set it to that for now, and I'll show you. That's normally, if you don't mess with it when you first start the game, that's where it'll be set to this setting here. I'll apply it, and now I'll show you how. This is normally how your game will be if you do not mess with the gamma. Which, like I said, now that it's at the normal setting, and it's dark and it's raining, it's just totally ridiculous. I can't even really tell the graphics of the sand and the stones and stuff. And so to be able to see a dialo or whatever is almost impossible. So one of the tricks that I found out, I think the Apex way, Uncle Apex, I think that was one of the things that he showed me too. Somebody showed me that. You go into your options, go down here to gamma corrections, and just push it all the way to the right and make it as high as it'll go. And then, of course, you have to go up here to where it says apply. You have to apply it and then save and exit. If you don't hit the apply and you just save and exit, then it'll just reset to where the defaults were. So, and now, since the gamma is up, I can see the sand and stuff, and I can see trying to remember the name of this guy. He's not an aggro. He's a parasaur. That's right. They're not aggro. I guess they're herbivores. So you can, even if I were to punch him, he wouldn't aggro and attack me. He would just run away. Or I should say she. It's a female. Once you get close enough, you can see it'll tell you if it's a female, what the name is, what level it is. She's 145. Here, I'll punch her just to show you that. And she runs away. Just from playing the game, I know what their names are. I couldn't remember the name of her, but now I remember. But I do remember that it's a herbivore or a omnivore or a carnivore. Carnivores obviously are the ones that will aggro you. This is a marsh stomp, mosh chomp. It's a herbivore too, and it's the same thing. Even if I were to punch it, it would just run away. Now, some herbivores, depending, like a brontosaurus or whatever, if it's like big enough or whatever, even though it's an herbivore, if I were to, it won't aggro me even if I stand on top of it. But if you do attack it and you punch it, it will attack back. The Triceratops, we call them trikes here in Ark. They're called trikes. a Triceratops will walk around and you can walk right up to it and it won't do anything, and it won't aggro you. But if you do attack it, that's one of them that will turn around and start attacking you. The carnivores, like the little compies and stuff, the little compies, even though they're so tiny and small, they're carnivores. They eat like dead carcasses and stuff like that. So the carnivores are pretty much almost all of them that I know of have a range, and once you get close enough to them, they're predators, so they would just turn around and attack you just by getting close to them. This is a trilobite here. It's just like a prehistoric like crab or whatever. They're obviously they don't attack you. Like I said, it's just like a crab like type thing. They're good for getting oil. Oil is good in a later game. They're not like the perfect choice to get oil from, but you can. They will also give you chitin. Chitin you need later on in the game. That's kind of like scales. You can use that to make harder armor. You usually find them on the beaches. They're usually in the water. They stay kind of right in this area, like the water area, beach area. Sometimes they do get up in here just because they kind of crawl around, and they do crawl up on your end, but you won't find them like all the way up, like in the trees up in there and stuff. Depending on what level it is, this one's a 25. It would take quite a while for me to kill it just with my hands. Even with my pickaxe, it would take a while. So I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Let's get back to, since it's the morning time again, let's make sure our water's full. I'm still kind of hungry, so let's eat these berries, because we're gonna go back to the XP node run. These are seeds. Obviously, the white ones kind of are color coded for the berries that they will make. If you plant these white seeds, it'll make the stem berries. It'll make a stem berry bush. But that's later on in the game too, because you have to have like planting plots to plant the seeds in. You have to build those, and I'm not going to really go into any of that right now. Alright, that should be good. Oh yeah, I was going to let me make some clothes. I'm tired of kind of running around in my boxers and my skivvies here. So, we're going to make some pants. We'll make a shirt. We'll make a hat. And like you have all of these, this is a craft, so you can make 6 items all at the same time. Obviously it'll make the 1 item at a time, but you can stack up the 6 items to make, and as soon as it makes the 1 item, it'll go to the next one. Let me put on my clothes here so that I am not running around as a naked man. Now then, won't hurt to make sure we're topped off on water. Those first 3 nodes that I made, and I probably will make another video where I kind of do the same thing Lucky by Nature did and just run from node to node. That noise there means that somebody on this server, on this map, on the island map, has just spawned in one of the bosses. The storyline of the game is there are major, huge boss battles you can get into where you fight like huge dinosaurs, and you spawn them in at, that's an obelisk over there, that big huge floating thing in the sky. Um, Under those on land is a spot where they kind of connect, and you you spawn in a boss dinosaur underneath those obelisks, and it's a huge fight, and you can't do it by yourself unless you're max level and you have like max armor and everything else, and I still don't think you can fight them by yourself because it's a boss battle. So they've got like tons of armor and XP and not XP but tons of HP, and so that's normally something that like 4 or 5 or like a whole like guild or pack of people will do all at the same time. And one of those, there's 3 obelisks on each map, a red one, a blue one, and a green one. There's another one way over there, and then that one's the red one closest nearby, and then the third one is way over there on the horizon. That one's really far away, that going over that way somewhere. So, oh no, wait, I was wrong. You can see the tip of it. Oh wow, see the horrible freaking lighting. There it is. You can see the tip of it right over in those trees when I move over here. There's the third one. 1, 2, and 3. And that, like I said, that huge loud thundering noise, one of those obelisks somebody has called in the boss fight, and they're fighting the boss fight right now. There's 3 of, ooh, there's a raptor. See the raptor right there? Obviously a velociraptor, and they live up to their name in this game. They are very fast. They are very aggro, very mean. That's an alpha raptor, because you see how he's glowing red. The glowing red means he's really mad, and he's really aggro. Their aggro range is ridiculous. I'm surprised he hasn't aggroed me already from this far away. So you do not want to get anywhere near them, because even like a level like 20, you can be a level 70, and a level 20 alpha, especially if it's an alpha raptor, what they do is they'll run up to you and they will catch you. Even with my movement speed at like 130, he will overtake me if I were to aggro him like within like 2 seconds, because they are very fast. And what they do is they run up to you and then they tackle you. They pounce on you. They jump on you and knock you down. And then when they knock you down in this game, when you're knocked down and they stand on you, you really can't get up. And then once they knock you down and you can't get up, then they just start biting you and attacking you, and then they kill you. Because they are usually really strong too. So after they bite you like 3 or 4 times, they kill you. And of course they will aggro other dinosaurs. That's a parasaur, like I said earlier, herbivore, and he decided he's hungry and he's going to eat that. They are, especially the alpha ones that are glowing red, will aggro and attack everything except for another predator carnivore. Like the little dilos are little carnivores, so the raptors won't attack them at all. They kind of like leave each other alone. If like a big T-Rex came by, the raptors won't attack the T-Rexes. Like the carnivores will not attack other carnivores for some reason. They kind of just leave each other alone. Now here's a turtle. The turtles obviously are herbivore. Now a turtle is another one that if I were to punch it, it would attack me, since I attacked it. But if I don't punch it or anything, I can do anything I want standing on it. But it's like the Triceratops. If I were to attack it, it would attack back. Now, if that raptor turns around after it's done eating that parasaur, that raptor's going to turn around, and if that raptor sees that turtle, it's called carbo. The turtles are called carbos. it'll see that carbo and it will automatically attack the carbo, and it will attack and kill it. The raptors do spawn on the beaches. It's one of the few carnivores that will actually spawn on the beach and run around, and sometimes there will be a lot of them, which kind of gets a little ridiculous if they're all in the same area, because then that whole area is really, really dangerous. So the raptors you want to stay away from, unless you have like trank arrows that you can tranquilize them. But even then, if it's see there, you went right after the turtle. And like I said, the aggro range, since he's kind of fighting the turtle right now, I can get kind of close to him because he's kind of occupied right now. So, but I think their aggro range, like right now, if he was not fighting that turtle, he would come running after me because this would be too close to them. And like I said, you do not want to aggro a raptor at all, even like a normal raptor. That's an alpha raptor. Alpha, obviously, the alpha title means that it's the same dinosaur, but it's an alpha dinosaur, which means it's just a higher level and it's a stronger of the same thing. But even a regular raptor still are very, very fast, very, very aggro, and very, very mean, and they will kill you. So whenever you want to keep a constant vigilant eye on your surroundings to make sure that there aren't any raptors around. It says in the game, even the description says that the beaches, the shoreline is a safer place to be. That's why when it starts you off in the game, it'll start you off on the shoreline, because not really that many carnivores kind of spawn on this beach area. They do that on purpose. It's kind of like goes by real life anyways. A lot of the dinosaurs wouldn't be near the water line unless it was like an herbivore or whatever. Carnivores are usually in the bushes, trees, and stuff like that. So the further you go into the map, into the trees and into the forest, up into the mountains, the more dangerous the dinosaurs will spawn. Like the T-Rexes and stuff like that usually are found up in the mountains. They really normally aren't found on the shoreline. Now I say normally because they can. If a T-Rex kind of spawns up like on the mountains or in the trees or whatever, and it starts chasing an herbivore, and the herbivore runs down here into the shoreline, the T-Rex will chase it down here into the shoreline, and then after it kills whatever it was chasing, then the patrol pattern is what I like to call it, will reset, and the T-Rex will kind of start patrolling on the shoreline. So there will be one on the shoreline. It just the game means that they normally won't spawn it on the shoreline for the most part. Normally, there is a pteranodon. They normally will not. They're not aggro really. Even though in the dinosaur world, like in Jurassic Park and stuff, they attack people. In this game, they don't attack you. You'll see them flying around. They usually will spawn near the shoreline and stuff. I believe that's a stego. Now these are cool. One of the things that the Ark game has put in is called tech. I guess technology, short for technology or whatever. But they've put it into the game. Yes, I know it's dinosaurs, and so dinosaurs and technology really don't make sense going together, but they explain that in the storyline of why it's here and what's going on. But there is a tech stego, and the tech dinosaurs just look really, really cool. They're kind of like Transformers. They look like the Dinobots from Transformers. Stegos usually will not aggro unless I were to attack it, then it would attack me. Over here is one of the meanest. These are even worse than the raptors. This is a Trudon. This little guy right here running. One of the reasons why is because they will bite you once. Once they bite you, your fortitude will start going down because you do have a fortitude. Once your fortitude drops far enough, that's what gauges whether you get. That's what gauges whether you will get knocked out or not. Now it only takes one bite from a Trudon to knock you out. If your fortitude is built up enough, it'll take a while for that to happen, so you can kind of run away. But if your fortitude is not up at all, and I'll show you your fortitude here. Here's all your stats. Oh, and it won't let me go into it because I don't. But if you look at the very bottom of the stats, torpidity is, if that goes all the way up, that means you're knocked out. Just above the torpidity is fortitude. If you have a high enough fortitude, your torpidity takes longer to go up. Since I have 0, because I haven't put any points into my fortitude at all, something that would make that torpidity go up, it would make my torpidity go up like almost instantly. It'll make it go up really, really quickly. And like I said, once torpidity gets full, then you're knocked out. Now these Trudons, one of the reasons why the Trudons are so mean and nasty and everybody hates them, like I said, is because it only takes like maybe 1 or 2 bites before it knocks you out. And there's normally not just one. They usually have 1 or 2 or 3, or it's kind of like the compies. The compies will usually have like 3 or 4 of them around. And they'll call each other if they start attacking something, and they'll all come and attack it. The Trudons are the same way. And there's usually like 2 or 3 Trudons running around. This one looks like he's just running around by himself, but they're kind of just like the raptors. They're carnivores. They do aggro. I'm just outside his aggro range right now. And if you get close enough to them, they'll automatically attack you. And if they bite you, then your torpidity starts going up. Once it goes all the way up, you get knocked out. When you get knocked out, obviously you're knocked out. You kind of fall over. And when you're knocked out and you fall over, you can't do anything. And then the Trudons will, just like the raptors do, once you're knocked out, then they all jump on you and attack you and bite you and kill you. They're annoying, and everybody hates them because they're so vicious and because they can knock you out like that. And they're really creepy because at night they have glowing yellow eyes, and they glow really, really yellow at night. You could kind of see them during the day, but I really don't want to get attacked by it to show you. But the Trudons, something else you have to look for, because they will show up on the shoreline, obviously, because he's right there. But the Trudons you want to look for, the Raptors you want to look for, the Dilos are okay, their aggro's not really that bad. The only reason why they're kind of bad is because they blind you. Makes it really hard for you to see. Plus they usually will run around with 2 or 3 of them. And once they blind you, then they attack you and kill you. But they're not as bad because they're usually a little easier to kill. You can, 3 or 4 hits with an actual weapon or something, and you can kill them. This is I just call them pig. They are not aggro as long as you do not attack them or whatever. They're the ones, you'll see them running around everywhere because they do run kind of fast, but they're the favorite thing that the raptors like to attack. The raptors, they're always, usually whenever you see them, they're not walking around like this. It's usually because they're getting attacked by raptors or any of the other carnivores. The Dilo would start attacking the pig if they got really, really close enough. But so the reason why you start on the shoreline, like I said, is because the game made it purposefully to where most of the dinosaurs that spawn here are the herbivores that don't aggro and will run away. it gives you enough time to gather your wood and your thatch by hitting trees, gathering your fiber by gathering these bushes. Um, Here are the rocks that I was looking for. Take out your pickaxe, and these are the rocks that you can hit. And when you hit it with a pickaxe, it gives you flint. It does give you metal sometimes, but metal is a harder. Metal is usually a harder substance to find. You normally will not find them just like in the rocks like this. I think it's because the event's going on, so I'm getting more metal than I normally see. But the main thing that you're wanting is the flint. The main thing you want from the rocks at the beginning with the pickaxe is the flint. You want the flint and the stone that it gives you. When you use a pickaxe on the stone, it gives you more flint. If I had a hatchet, a stone hatchet, it would give me more stone. Depending on what tool you use on whatever harvesting item you're getting, it gives you more of one of the items. Obviously a stone, the primary item that a stone will give you is more stone. The secondary item that a stone will give you is flint. And if you use a pickaxe on a stone, you'll get more of the secondary item. See, I just got 20 flint and like 8 stone from that. Now, going back to items here, now that I've gotten some flint now, which is what you want to get when you first make your pickaxe, you want to find some stone so you can get some flint, because you have to have fiber and wood and flint to make a stone hatchet, which is your second tool that you're going to want. I'll make one of those right now. You also need wood and fiber and flint to make a hand torch. You don't have to have a hand torch. They are nice when it gets dark outside, because obviously it's a torch and it will light up the area right around your character, and you can see a lot better, obviously, because it's a torch. Excuse me. So I'll go ahead and make a torch also. Like I said, put them down in your hotbar, because it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to come into your inventory and hit like 3 buttons to bring it out. You just hit the button that it's assigned to, and it'll automatically bring it out. You also need flint and stone, and I think wood, to make a campfire. There's my campfire. Yes, see, when you highlight one of them in this menu, it'll show you what items you need to harvest to make it. You need flint, stone, thatch, and wood to make a campfire. When it's green, highlighted, the flint and the wood are green, that means I have enough of that item already. The red, the stone in red, and the thatch in red means I have some, but not enough. I have to get more of those to make it. That's why it's also grayed out, because that means that you cannot make it, obviously. I'm going to go get some more stone and some more thatch, because I do want to build that, so that I can start cooking some of this meat, because another thing that makes the XP node run a lot easier, besides having the water skin at the beginning so you can carry the water, now that I want stone more than flint, because I have more than enough flint right now, now that I want more stone, I use the hatchet on the stone, on the rocks, to get more stone and flint. You will still get both items. You'll still get, even though you're using a hatchet on the rocks, you'll still get flint. You may even get more flint than stone. It's kind of a random thing, but you're supposed to get more stone with the hatchet than the flint. And then if you're using the pickaxe like this one, you're supposed to get more flint instead of the stone. Ooh, a monkey. I really like the monkeys in the game because they are cool. You can actually make them a pet and carry them around on your shoulder. It is a little difficult. I can hear him. I just got to find him. He's around here somewhere. Because I want to find him and show him to you. But yeah, you can tame them and make him your pet, and then you can carry him around on your shoulder. Where is he at? I hope he didn't get a... I heard a thumping noise, so I hope something didn't, like, attack him and kill him. Oh, there's a Dilo. I almost aggroed him. It's really weird that the Dilos, sometimes you can get real close to them and they don't attack you, and sometimes you can kind of be a little far away and they'll attack you. I don't know, it's weird with them. Now I need thatch. With the pickaxe on trees, you'll get more thatch than wood. And I need thatch, so I'll use my pickaxe. And as you noticed, at the beginning, it just kept giving me wood and wood and wood. So like I said, it will give you both. Sometimes it'll even give you more wood when it's not supposed to, but it's a random thing. If I were to use the hatchet, I would get more wood. Supposedly, that's how it's supposed to work. So, I'm gonna get more thatch. Thatch is kind of like fiber. You need a lot of it to build a lot of stuff, and it's not really heavy, so you don't have to really worry about your weight going up. So you can carry around quite a bit of thatch and fiber without worrying about the weight. It does weigh some, so you can't get really crazy with it, but it's also those two things obviously in the beginning are needed to make a lot of your things. Alright, I should have enough now to make a campfire. Yes. So I'm going to make that. Like I said, the first three things that you want, as soon as you begin, we'll say that we're not going to do the XP run. You're just going to want to start the game and just kind of start gathering and stuff, and you're not going to worry about leveling and getting the XP nodes. The first three things you want: run up to a tree and punch it to get the wood and the thatch. Pick up some of the stones that are on the ground, because you need the stone, the thatch, and the wood to build your first tool, which is your pickaxe. You build that quickly as soon as you can. As soon as you get that, put it on your hotbar. You run around, you take out your pickaxe you just built, you run around on the shore or pretty much anywhere, and you look for stone, and you use your first tool of your pickaxe to gather the flint from the stone, because then you need the next tool you want after your pickaxe is the hatchet. The hatchet, you have to have flint, thatch, and wood to make that. So you use your pickaxe to find the flint, get the flint to make the hatchet. Once you have the hatchet will give you more wood and thatch. And then the third thing, the first weapon that you can use after you make your pickaxe and your hatchet, you want to make your first weapon. Your first weapon is your spear. The rudimentary wooden spear takes the fiber, flint, and wood. I'm not really going to make it because I really don't use it that often, but depending on what you're using in the game is programmed to where obviously the tool is used for what the tool is used for. So this would be your first weapon. So if you were to want to run around and start fighting the Dilos and the Compies and the smaller dinosaurs, then you would want a weapon, and you would want the spear, because the spear would obviously do more damage. You can use the pickaxe, like I showed you earlier. The compies were attacking me, and all I had was the pickaxe, so I used it because it does more damage than just punching something. But if I had a spear, obviously the spear would have been a lot better because it's a weapon and it does more damage. So get your pickaxe, get some flint, get your hatchet, get more wood and more fiber and more thatch. Make a torch for when it gets to nighttime. If you're on PvP, you have to be really careful because at nighttime people will obviously look for the light that the torches put out, because during the nighttime obviously the torch does put out a lot of light that people can see from far away, and griefers will look for bobs running around with torches out, and that way they can find you easier, and they'll run up to you and hit you with the wooden club and knock you out and take your stuff. So the torch is kind of, yeah, it does help you see during the night if you need to run around and you need to move, but it also lets all the griefers on the PvP servers know where you're at. But it is still good. Campfire, I guess, would be the next thing you'd want to make so that you can start cooking the meat if you've used your spear to hunt some dinosaurs. Use the campfire to cook some meat so that you don't get hungry. The water skin, like I said, is still good even if you're not going to run around doing the experience nodes run. It's still nice to have just because you can carry other water around instead of, if you are kind of finding yourself in the trees or whatever, and you start getting dehydrated, which happens very, very quickly. The more running around you are, the hotter it is. Then you don't have to run all the way from the trees all the way out here to the water to get a drink. You can, if you have a water skin, you can just use the water in your water skin, and it will fill up your thirst bar. So the water skin is the next thing that you would like to have. Clothing, obviously, right from the very beginning, so that if you start getting cold at night or whatever, the cloth clothing is good to help keep you warm. It does give you a little bit of an armor level, very little obviously since it's only cloth. The cloth shoes and the cloth hand wraps, you have to have the hide for. Now, I know I said earlier that you have fiber and hide to make leather clothes. You only need fiber to make the cloth clothes, but for some reason, I guess it makes sense that the shoes and the hand wraps, even though they're considered the cloth level, you do need the hide to make them, obviously, because they're shoes and you put them on your feet to run around, so you need a heavier substance than cloth. You kind of have to add fiber into it. So that's why I do have fiber, so I can make the shirt, the pants, and the hat, but I don't have enough hide to make the hand wraps and the shoes. But those are nice to have. You would want to build those. One of the things that you would want, like I said, is the storage box, because they're kind of cheap to make. It's basically what the name means. You store things in it. You build it, you put it somewhere. You can try to hide it in like a bush or something. But once you build it and you place it down, you can put a PIN number on it, which means that it will lock it. It's a 4 number, just like a PIN number for like credit card and stuff. You put a PIN number lock on it, and you can put your stuff in it. And even if it's sitting out in the open, like right out here on the shoreline somewhere, and another player comes up and sees it, if you have the PIN lock on it, they have to know, they have to hack your lock number. They would have to know your PIN number to unlock it to get into it. Now, they can still beat on it and break it and get into it, but that takes a long, long time unless they have some like explosives like grenades or something. If they were to just try to hit it with like a hatchet or whatever, it would take a long time. They'd have to stand there for a long time and just beat on it, beat on it. Um, and a lot of people just don't want to waste the time. So if you pin lock it, then it kind of, for in a roundabout way, it'll protect your stuff. And that way you can get a lot of stuff. You can put it all in the storage box, put this pin number on this lock on the storage box, and then you don't have to worry about the weight of carrying around everything. You can just come back to your storage box and get whatever you need out of it. As you can see, I have quite a bit more stuff that I'm carrying around now. So if you look right about in the middle of my stats, it'll say water, and then just under water it says weight. And my bar is it says 100 on it because I haven't put any points into it. And all of this stuff I'm carrying, I'm already carrying like 73.6 in weight, which means if I were to get a few more items, I will start getting encumbered, or I will not be able to move at all because I'm trying to carry too much stuff. So the storage box would be good for that. But the beginning of the game, like I said, especially if you're on a PvP server, you want to get as many levels as fast as you can from the very beginning. So you're going to want to do the XP node run. If you're on a PvE server and you don't really need to worry about that, or if you're not really worried about getting killed all the time and you're on a PvP server and that's not really going to bother you, and you just want to play the game and you're just going to start playing the game, then just start gathering your materials and building your tools, and then you can start like right here, like I showed you, use your engrams whenever you get your points, and you start getting your thatch pieces, and you can start building your own little base. You get the thatch floor, the thatch walls, the thatch door, the thatch ceiling pieces, and you just go somewhere, find somewhere, and start putting your thatch pieces down and build your own little base. And you just basically, it's a survival game. You just start doing what you can, gathering stuff to survive. And that's how you play the game. And then once you get high enough level, just from playing the game, you want to find a dinosaur to knock out with the narco berries. You use the narco berries to knock them out with trank arrows, or you can just feed them. Some of them. You can just run up to them and feed them the narco berries, and it'll knock them out. And then you go through the taming process. Once they're knocked out, they lay down on the ground, and they're kind of just laying there. And that can start the taming process. Depending on what dinosaur it is and what they eat, you go and get them their food that they normally eat. You bring it back and give it to them, and you have them eat. And over a certain time period, you have a taming bar that will go up. The longer it takes, depending on what dinosaur it is, what level it is, how strong it is, the bar will slowly go up. The taming bar will, kind of like a leveling bar. And you just gotta keep giving them more food, and you gotta keep them knocked out, because their wake up bar, for the sake of a better word, their torpor bar or the torpidity bar will go down, and if it goes all the way down, they'll wake up. So you gotta kind of feed them narco berries every once in a while to keep the torpidity bar up. To keep them knocked out, you feed them their food, because even though they're knocked out, they will eat, because they'll get hungry. And that is how you tame dinosaurs in the game. You knock them out, and they'll get hungry while they're knocked out, and you feed them the food they like. They will eat it, and they have a taming bar, and eventually, over time, that bar will fill up. And if you do it right and it fills all the way up, you will tame the dinosaur. And once you do that, Obviously, what taming means, you now have a dinosaur pet, and you can ride them. You can make a saddle. Uh, you make saddles to put on them if they're big enough, and you can ride around on them. Uh, Certain ones are good for certain things. The herbivores are good for running around and gathering berries for you. The carnivores are good for running around and killing other dinosaurs and fighting other things and protecting you. And that's basically the game. You survive and you have dinosaur pets and you build a base or build a home to live in, and if it's PvP, you run around and fight other people. Hopefully you don't turn into a griefer, a Bob griefer, like a lot of people do. One of the things I never understood with that, with the PvP, and the griefers that run around and kill the Bobs, yeah, once you knock somebody out, you can take the stuff that they have, but most of the time, if it's a Bob and they're naked and they're on the shoreline, and the griefers run up to them and knock them out for the sole purpose of taking what they have, most of the time they don't have anything. They're new players, so they may have some wood on them, or they may have some cloth clothes on them or something like that, or they may have a little bit of food, or there's a Troodon, and here comes the Troodon. The Troodon has knocked me out. There we go. I inadvertently showed you the Troodon, the nasty, nasty Troodon that people cannot stand, and that's the reason why. He knocked me out and chased me. While I was getting knocked out, he was chasing me. I got knocked out and fell over because he bit me, and then he proceeded to attack me after I was knocked out and killed me. And it was nighttime, so I showed you the eerie, really, really evil looking, glowing yellow eyes they have. And that was only one. And like I said, they usually have like 2 or 3 that they're running around with. So there's the example of one of the reasons why people cannot stand them, because they're annoying. Now I will respawn, and hopefully I can find my body. Hopefully the Troodon that killed me will not be next to my body, which most of the time that is what will happen. Is if a dinosaur killed you, like a raptor or whatever, you can spawn and run back over to your body, but if it's fast enough, you'll want to be careful, because the raptor will still be there, munching on your dead body. So it spawned me, but it spawned me quite far away from where I died, which can happen. The spawn areas is a area, so you can spawn anywhere in that whole area, and the area can be a pretty big spawn area. So like this one, I am still in West Zone 2, but I'm kind of... now what's attacking me? Two Dilos found me and attacked me. I aggroed them somehow, kind of just by standing there looking at my map. I'm surprised one of them hasn't spit on me and blinded me yet. But, one of the things with the Dilos is, yeah, they're annoying, yeah, they can blind you, and yeah, they'll attack you, but they're not really fast. See how my movement speed's still only 130, and I'm kind of backing away, so you can kind of stay away from them. They do have an aggro range. Once they reach a certain point, they will kind of give up and turn around and leave you alone. But depending on how persistent they are, it could be quite a while. It could be kind of far away. Or if I were to turn around and run fast enough and get enough distance away from him, he'll give up and run away. That's what I'll do now. I'll yeah. See, I ran far enough away and he gave up, so he's running away now. Let me go in here to my level. And there's the thunderous noise again, which means, like I said before, somebody has just called another boss battle. I'm gonna take a guess and say that it's probably there in red ob. It's an obelisk, but they call them obs for short. And obviously they're red, blue, and the green, so they call them by the color. So that's red ob. And I would take a guess in saying that that's probably where the boss battle is taking place. But we're not going to go over there and check it out because one of the things that they don't like is whenever somebody calls in a boss battle, a lot of new players like to try to go and intervene and kind of get into the boss battle themselves, even though they didn't call the boss out or whatever, and they kind of just join in even though they really weren't invited to, and that kind of makes a lot of people mad when they do that. But I have never done any boss battles yet because I have always played solo. I'm always by myself, and like I said, the boss battle, you can't, even if I were max level of like a level 110 or whatever the max level is, you still can't fight a boss battle by yourself. Excuse me. Okay, now this is a good thing. Yes, they do have dodos in the game. There we go, the dodo bird, the infamous dodo bird that went extinct very quickly because they were dumb. And that's even true in the game. They are dumb. They do spawn all the time on the shorelines and stuff. They make that annoying sound all the time. They do not aggro. They're really not good for anything but getting hide and meat from. You can kind of set up a breeding thing, because yes, you can breed the dinosaurs in here since they do have the females and the males. You can breed tamed dinosaurs. You can breed them and make eggs and make little babies to hopefully get a better stat on your dinosaurs. Here, that's noise from some compies, and like I said, there are usually never one. There's usually always multiples. That high-pitched whistling noise is the compy noise. That Dilo is going to go after the dodo that was over there. But yes, the one thing you can do, here's two more. These are usually very plentiful. You can usually find them a lot. If you're looking for something to get, something easy to kill to get hide and meat from, that would be your dodo bird, and that's the joke that a lot of people make, is the reason why they went extinct. Because in this game, they would go extinct too, because they're extremely easy to find, extremely easy to kill, and they give you hide and meat. And so people will hunt them and kill them for hide and meat. I'm not going to do that right now, just for the sheer fact that even though I said that I'm kind of far from my body, my dead body, I'm going to go find my dead body anyways. Like I said, if you find your dead body, you can retrieve all of the items that you had. And I would like to try to get my water skin and all my tools back. Although I do need to find some bushes right now because I need to get some berries. Because obviously I'm hungry. And I'm starting to take damage. there is a time limit. Um, Once you die, your body will still be there, or the bag with all your stuff in it will be where you died at, and it will be there for a certain amount of time. And they're kind of a little lenient on how much time it is. They usually have quite a bit of enough timer on there for you to, even if you're quite far away, if you really want to attempt to go get it, you usually do have more than enough time to go get your stuff before it despawns and it kind of just disappears and goes away. And just to kind of prove my point on that aspect right now, yeah, I do want to go get all my stuff, and I am kind of far. I know where I'm at, and I know where my dead body's at. I am a little far away from it, but I do know that the timer is lenient enough to where I can gather these berries and eat these berries so that I'm not hungry anymore, and still run all the way over and find my body and get my stuff. Because, like I said, they're not going to be that mean about, trying to get your stuff back. They're usually pretty nice about the timer for that. Alright, back to what I was saying earlier. I have enough movement speed. If you're first starting off and you're going to do the XP node run, which I do suggest, even if it's just PvE and you're not going to PvP or anything like that, it is nice to get as many levels as you can get, as fast as you can get, because obviously there's level caps on what you can build and when you can build stuff, and the different levels of items you can build is based on what level you are. So even if you're just going to play the game just to play the game, doing running in at least getting a few of the nodes. Like I said, we just got like the first 5, and there's like, I think like 100 or 150 nodes just on the island map, the map we're on right now. And I just got like 5, and yeah, it is an event weekend. It is the weekend. It's Sunday right now. So I did get double XP. I only got 5 of them right now, and I did get a few levels just from gathering and stuff like that. But I'm level 23, and I'll be level 24 when I put this point in. So, I mean, that's how quick it is, so it doesn't really take that much time or whatever, and it's nice to not run around at, like, level, 3 right now, I'm level 24 instead. And it unlocks a lot of things, but if you're going to do the XP node, you want to be able to run faster, to get between the nodes faster, so you want to do your movement speed first. Then you want to do your stamina, which is what I want to do, because the more running around, like I said, the more your stamina goes down, and that's just a lot of problems. So I want more stamina, because I am going to still go around and get some more XP nodes. So we're going to put a point in that. Like I said, I did a little bit of this earlier, and I said I wasn't going to do it with every point that I got. Like I said, if you do want to get all of these, the most important ones, obviously, is your tools. You automatically get these 3. You don't even have to pick them. So the next thing that I always want is the water skin. Then the sleeping bag, because like I said, that's a one-time thing. You can make that and hide that somewhere. And then if you do get killed by a raptor or whatever, instead of just kind of having a random respawn, you can respawn wherever you put the sleeping bag at one time, and then the sleeping bag goes away. But that kind of like guarantees you'll respawn where you want to respawn at, because you can put the sleeping bag there. So those two things obviously are your clothes obviously are to battle like the temperature and the weather and stuff. Your first cloth clothing is nice. Campfire is really nice for your meat. Your tools, these two tools, your stone pick and your stone hatchet. So basically all of these items that I have highlighted right here, at the very beginning of the game, you just go ahead and get them all, because you kind of do want them all. Once you kind of get higher up, you can start choosing things. The Mortal and Pestle is one of your most important beginning tools, because that's your building tool that helps you build a lot of things later on. The simple bed is basically the same as your sleeping bag, but the sleeping bag is a one-time thing and then it goes away. The simple bed, you make that and put it down somewhere, and it's not a one-time thing. It's as long as nobody breaks it, it's a permanent thing. Every time you die, you can respawn wherever your simple bed is, as long as it's still there and somebody didn't break it. So that's always really nice to have. I'm going to take that now. Spark powder, instead of having to use wood to start fires with, that's basically your fire starter. So you have to have a Mortal and Pestle to make it, but that's why I took it, because instead of having to go and get wood all the time, if you make the spark powder, you can just put that, and that's your fuel to start your fires with. Narcotics, it's what you use the narco berries with to make a narcotic to use to knock things out with. I'm going to go ahead and get that, because you do want to try to start taming dinosaurs as soon as you can, because they are nice to have. Even the small, like a parasaur, is nice to be able to ride around on, because they can run faster than you can, and they're better at gathering materials than you are. Like the herbivore dinosaurs can gather berries a lot better and a lot faster than you can. So narcotics is something that makes taming a dinosaur a lot easier and a lot faster than just using the narco berries. Like some of these other things, like the blood extraction syringe, I don't really ever get it, because I don't really ever use it. You can use it. Wooden sign is just like that. That's all it is. It's a sign that you can make out of wood, and you can put it somewhere, and you can actually write on it anything you want. You can write, "This is my base, stay away. Leave me alone. Stop griefing me." Put a curse word on it and tell them to go away. You can write anything on it. You make it, and then a keyboard will come up. You type in whatever you want to say on it, and it'll actually put it on the wooden sign, and everybody in the game can read it. I don't really ever use them. Slingshot is another first weapon. It's really, really good at the beginning of the game to knock another animal out. If you don't have narco berries, you can use a slingshot, because you can shoot stones at them, and if you hit a dinosaur with enough stones, obviously a stone isn't really lethal. It'll knock them out first before it'll kill them. Yeah, if you knock them out and then you still hit them with stones, then it'll eventually kill them. But if you don't have narco berries, you can make a slingshot, shoot stones at one of the little dinosaurs, and that will knock them out, and you can use that to tame them. I don't really ever use it, because I usually get fast enough levels to where I don't have to worry about it. I can get more powerful weapons, so I don't really ever get it. That's a saddle. Like I said, you can make saddles, put on dinosaurs to ride them. I don't really ever see that dinosaur, the Phiomia. I don't really, even if I did, I wouldn't use it as a pet. I don't tame them, so I don't. So stuff like this, I don't pick. I don't waste my. You do get a very limited amount. You do have a level cap, and so a level cap means that you have a limited amount of points you get for your Ingrams. So, and they do not give you enough points, even at your max level of like 110 or whatever. Um, they will not give you enough points, Ingram points, even at level 110, to buy everything. So you do have to pick and choose. You cannot buy every item. They don't give you enough points for it. So if you do find out in the game that there are certain things in the game that you just won't use or you're not interested in using it, then don't spend the points on them because you can't buy all of it. You can't buy every single item. Like all the spyglass, I do like. Basically, it's like a telescope. Um, and when you look through it and look at dinosaurs and stuff, you can see their name and their level and everything from a lot further away. You don't have to be like right next to them to see them. So that's really nice to have if you want to kind of like scope out, I don't know, like hide in a bush or something, and because it'll also work on other players. If you're PvP and you look at a player through the spyglass and you're hiding in a bush, it'll give you the player's name and it'll give you their level and everything, their name and their level, and I think maybe one other thing. From hiding in a bush, and you can tell whether you need to stay away from them or, whatever. The wooden club, like I said, everybody has the wooden club because even a level 110 that wants to grief, like newbies, why, I don't know why, just because they think it's fun or whatever, even like the level 110s will run around naked with the wooden club. Even though there's more than enough stronger weapons, there's guns and everything else in the game, it's just easier for them to run really fast, use a wooden club, and knock you out with it and take your stuff. So everybody gets the wooden club. Ebola, really nice for PvP. It doesn't work on the really, really big dinosaurs, smaller like the Dilos and stuff. It's exactly what Ebola is. It wraps around their legs and it makes it to where they can't run and they can't move. It does work on other players. It's a PvP thing. One counter to somebody running around really fast and trying to run up to you and hit you with the club. If you have bolas, if you can throw the bola at them and hit them with it, it'll wrap around their legs, and for a small amount of time, they can't run. No matter how fast they can run, no matter how fast their movement speed is, if you throw a bola around their legs and you hit their legs with it, they can't move for like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, or however long it takes for them to get out of it. So yeah, the bola is really, really good to have. The first weapon for anybody, besides the spear and the slingshot and everything else, the major first weapon that pretty much everybody really gets, because it's really, really good, it's really like the best beginner weapon, is the bow and the arrow. The bow and the stone arrow. That's your first go-to weapon that a lot of people make. A lot of people get it right as soon as they can. They make it as soon as they can, and they use it a lot. It does a lot of damage to the little dinosaurs. Depending on what level the Dilo dinosaur is, like 4 or 5 arrows in a Dilo will kill it. You need the stone arrow to make what's called the trank arrows. You get that later on, but you have to have the stone arrows first. Stone arrows mixed with the narcotics will give you trank arrows, which basically that's the name of it, that you shoot something with a stone arrow with the narcotic on it, which is the trank arrow, it tranquilizes them and knocks them out. Um, so just about everybody that I know that ever plays the game, this is their go-to beginning weapon. They get the bow and arrow as soon as they can. Wooden cage, like I said, you can knock people out. You can put handcuffs on them, which you can get later on. You can actually build handcuffs. You can put the handcuffs on them, lock them in a wooden cage, and they can't do anything. They're basically your prisoner. A lot of people like to do that. That's another way of griefing somebody. You can make them your prisoner. They think it's kind of fun. I will do it every once in a while, but I don't grief people with it. I usually, the reason why I do it would be if somebody griefed me and I know what their name is and I still keep playing, and if they do it enough to where they make me angry enough and they just keep griefing me and griefing me and griefing me, then I'll do the same thing. I'll make a wooden cage, I'll make some handcuffs, and I will try to, if they're really powerful, I'll try to anyways. I'll try to do the same thing. I'll try to run up to them and knock them out. If I do, then I'll put handcuffs on them and I'll lock them in a wooden cage. And I'll be like, look, man, you've griefed me enough. You can't just leave me alone. You think it's funny to be mean, then you can sit in my wooden cage for a while. That would be the reason why I would do it. I don't do it on I don't purposely go out like a lot of other people do. A lot of people think it's funny to knock people out, put them in a wooden cage, because if they do it the right way, there's nothing you can do to get out. Nothing. The only way you can get out is if you die or if they let you out. And I mean, and it can go on. If they do it the right way, they can keep you in the wooden cage for, in real life, like days, weeks. Basically your character is useless until they let you out, if they do it the right way. And so a lot of people, when they figured out how to do it the right way, if they really want to be mean and they do it the right way, you basically have to make another character. Because if they don't want to let you out, then there's nothing you can do. Your character sits in their wooden cage for basically ever. As long as they can upkeep, everything they need to upkeep and do everything right, you just basically have to write that character off and make another character. Or hope that they'll let you out. But that's what the wooden cage is for. There are other uses for it. I think you can obviously get inside and out of your own wooden cage. I think some people may use that to try to get away from, to quickly try to get away from like a dinosaur that's chasing them. But I don't know. Obviously there are other uses for it, but the main usage for it is to have prisoners in the game. Cementing paste is extremely important. Your higher level items that you need to make and stuff require cementing paste, so we're gonna get that. I can go into wooden things now. Your first thing you make things out of is thatch. The next level is wood. So I'm gonna get all of that. To go to the next level, you have to have all of the previous level. So if I didn't have all the thatch pieces to get the wooden pieces, I would have to buy the wooden pieces and the thatch pieces. You have to have the prior level to get the next level. So you can't just go on the experienced node run, go up to like level 70, go up to like level 70 and say an hour, 2 hours of playing the game, and then come in here to the Ingrams and buy all metal stuff to make a metal base. without buying the thatch and the wood and the stone and everything else. You have to buy all of it. So like I was thinking about the wooden cage, I really don't do it unless I'm griefed, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm probably not going to keep this character. This is just kind of a video, a stream that I'm doing right now, just to kind of help out with the beginning, like a fresh start, helping everybody that is thinking about playing the game or has gotten the game and is starting off at the beginning. That's pretty much all I'm really doing. I have a permanent character on another server, so I probably won't be keeping this one. So that's why I'll buy things, but the same thing goes with your armor. You go from cloth to what's considered hide. Hide is your leather. You have to have the cloth pieces to get the leather pieces. Your flare gun it is a flare gun, so it's not really a weapon, but it is a gun. So you have to have the flare gun to get the revolver gun, to get the 9mm gun. Same thing. It's levels. You have to have the previous level. Gunpowder. You have to have the gunpowder to make bullets. It's not. Obviously, having a gun without bullets makes it a paperweight, so it wouldn't make any sense. Large storage box, very important because it holds a lot more stuff than the regular storage box. You can still put a pin lock on it, so you can do that. It has more armor, so if somebody wants to try to break it, it'll take them a lot longer than a regular storage box. So yes, that's very important. Wooden raft, even though it's 11 points, is kind of expensive. But a wooden raft is, depending on what you want to do. Now, a wooden raft obviously is a raft, and it's basically a little boat that you can go around on the water with. Now, you can also build a base on the wooden raft. So it would basically be a base that you can move around on the water. So depending on if that's what you want to do, it's kind of nice to know that you can move your base instead of the base just being, because obviously if you build your base on land, it stays there. You can't move it around. So I think it's important. I like putting my base on a wooden raft so I can move it around. Trike saddle. Trike, the Triceratops, is one of the beginning level dinosaurs that a lot of people like to get. I like to get them. 12 points is a little expensive, but it's a pet Triceratops. So, and I do like the dinosaur, so I usually get that. The stream is going on 2 hours and 2 hours and a half here coming up. I will probably stop streaming here soon. I kind of showed everything that I really wanted to show on this one. I wanted to try to get more of the experience nodes. I wanted to go on more of the run, the loop, to get more of them, to show you where more of them are. But like I said, Lucky by Nature is the guy that has posted a few different videos on how to do it, where they're at. His videos will show you a lot better. I just kind of touched on it, but I also wanted to show you a lot of the beginning level stuff for the game. Plus, this is like my second streaming video that I've made for my YouTube channel. I'm a very, very beginning channel, so I don't even know if anybody's even going to see this video, this stream, or not, because like I said, I'm my second video posted to my YouTube channel, so I'm brand new. So have been talking to myself this whole time. So I don't even know if anybody will even see this recording or not. But if they do, and it does help some people, then I'm glad. I'm really glad to do it. It is a very fun game. It is a very fun survival game. If you like dinosaurs, if you like survival games, if you like Minecraft, um, then this is a very fun game. Just know that if you do pick PvP, there's a lot of griefers, a lot of people think it's fun and think it's funny to grief the new players, and they will grief you. If you do build a base, they will raid your base all the time. They will kill you. They will take your stuff. They do it all the time. If you play on a PvP server, the only thing I can say is if you are running around and you do see another player running around, just automatically assume that if they see you, they're going to try to attack you and they're going to try to knock you out and take your stuff. Because more than not, that's usually how it is. If another player sees another player in this game, 90% of the community that plays this game on the PvP servers, PvP. They every time they see somebody, especially a new player or a Bob that's on the beach, they will almost automatically always run up to you and knock you out and take your stuff. Every time. So, just assume that that's what's going to happen if you see somebody else. But, like I said, I did kind of go through a lot of the beginning stuff. I hope yet somebody else making a boss fight. That's pretty funny, because that's normally you wouldn't hear the boss fight signal at all for the most part. I rarely have ever heard it. So for me to, in a 2-hour streaming, to have heard it 3 times now is kind of funny. But that's interesting, because a lot of people are boss battling. And from what I know, it is really fun if you have enough friends that are playing, or if you have a big enough pack or guild or whatever you want to call it. If you have enough people in it and you can do it, I heard they're really fun. Plus, it's part of the storyline. It's basically something you're supposed to do in this game. That's part of the point of playing the game is getting to the boss battles. Anyways, like I said, nobody's probably even gonna ever watch this stream. So I've been talking to myself the whole time. But if somebody does come across it, if somebody does watch it, and it does actually help somebody, then, I'll be happy. Even if it just helps one person, if it helps them a little bit, answer maybe some questions they have, then I'll be happy. But 2 hours and a half. For my second stream, I think I've talked long enough and I've done long enough. So I hope everybody, if somebody is watching it, and I hope it helps. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're doing okay, and I hope you have fun playing Ark. And I will be posting more videos. So if you want, look for some more videos in the future. Okay, thanks for watching, if you did watch it, and goodbye.